What's going on, guys? Fikod here. Welcome to today's Destiny video, where we'll be going over this week at Bungie for the 9th of March 2017. I have to apologise before we start that this video is late. I didn't get into late. We also have a few things to ask. If you enjoy the video, please like it down below, and any form of feedback is appreciated. It helps improve. Also, if you want to see more, subscribe and hit that bell to be notified on my uploads. And also make sure you stay tuned to my channel, because tomorrow I've got an update video which is going to be more of a channel update, and also some announcements I have to make. So some very interesting things, very cool things that I think you'll really like, and also some key info for the channel. But anyway, let's jump in. I don't want to stall this any longer. So it begins with this week at Bungie. We revealed the next live event in Destiny. If you don't know what this is talking about, they're talking about Age of Triumph. If you haven't been active in the past week or so, I'll link some videos in the description. Have one big one in the outro that basically explain everything you need to know. I've done this extensively, but it moves on to say, so many players are curious about their next adventure. Before we begin that, we have a celebration to host. If you have a guardian, you're invited. From the day your ghost woke you to the moment you chose to read this blog yet again, much has happened. A journey that began in September 2014 has led to a new age of triumph and remembrance. Before we begin to write a new chapter together, Age of Triumph is a chance for every guardian to document their story so far. It moves on then to talk about how they've archived the broadcast, and the broadcast in short, which is, I'll summarise it now. The culmination of a year in Destiny 1, biggest record book ever, ways for every player to shine and be rewarded, a new set of weekly rituals that lead to maximum light, weekly featured raids with new challenges and ornaments. What was that about adding some new mayhem into Nightfall? If this created more questions than it answered, we're off to a good start. Thanks for being curious and ever ready for action. You'll find some more answers if you scroll, and 2 more reveal streams before the party begins. Next week we're talking about the weekly rituals, and we'll play a strike bathed in light. The week after that we're showing off rewards and talking about how they'll impact the sandbox. I'll be covering both these live streams on the night they happen, so 15th of March, which is a Wednesday night, and then the 22nd of March, again a Wednesday night. I'll cover them straight after the stream, just like I did for the first one, so check that out. I'm not going to read through the whole weekly update like I normally do, because I've got some more important stuff to cover at the end of the video, some news articles and things that happen throughout the week that weren't necessarily big enough to have their own video. I do that with my weekly updates. I like to cover maybe a community topic and a news topic that, like I said, weren't big enough to get their own video. But anyway, next thing is a question and answer for Age of Triumph. After the conclusion of Age of Triumph reveal stream, DPS received many player inquiries. The following are the 3 most frequently asked questions that we've had in the #help forum. Question: will I receive credit on the commemorations page of the Age of Triumph record book for participating in previous Destiny releases if I've deleted a character? The answer is yes, but only on the same account. So basically that's saying if you've had a previous account on Destiny and you've played a story in year 1, deleted that account and started a new account and used the Spark of Light, it won't count. That's self-explanatory in my opinion. So if you've deleted a character, basically all the things they've done will count. So if your year 1 character isn't with us anymore, sadly, then it will count on the commemorations page. Next question is, will I receive the credit for participating in previous Destiny releases if I've upgraded from a legacy console? The answer is yes, but only if you successfully completed the account import process at the time of the upgrade. So that's saying that if you successfully transferred your character from a legacy console onto the next gen, which is PS3 to PS4, 360 to Xbox One, it will count. But unfortunately, if you did Xbox 360 to PS4 or PS3 to Xbox One, it won't count. So as long as your account has transferred over properly, you will be given credit. Then the next question is the biggest one, but also the saddest, the most disappointing. Will there be any increase to vault space? It answers no, and then it gives a load of bullshit about how the kiosks are sufficient in their eyes. Sorry to say, Bungie, they're not. If you realistically had every piece of raid armor and all the raid weapons from these next 4 raids, you would probably have most of your vault filled up, and then that's not including all the trials gear and all the armor. You can't collect all the gear in Destiny because there's not enough room, as much as they want to say. But I think a kiosk would have been necessary for raid gear. Like, we don't know if that's coming or not. It may well be, because we are getting 4 raids that are all going to be relevant, but that's just my thing. I'm not going to read through the whole update. Like I said, there's a Bungie bounty featuring gameplay RJ from Brazil, who's PS4 playing Clash, and then there's another one on PS4 playing Clash called BRKSEDU, who's also from Brazil. They'll both be linked in the description. Movie of the week's there, go check that out. This article will be linked in the description. But then the final thing it says is, we hope you can join us in chat next week. Age of Triumph still has secrets to tell. So like I said, I'll be covering those live streams as and when they happen, so subscribe for that, and also follow me on my Twitter. That will be linked in the description, because I put regular updates on there as the live stream's going off, if for whatever reason you can't watch it. But now I want to get on to the real news of the week, the more interesting news. A Games Radar article telling you something that you actually didn't know about Age of Triumph, unlike this weekly update. So this Games Radar article, titled "What's Coming in Destiny's Age of Triumph According to Bungie's Deej," included some interesting questions and answers, and also some interesting screenshots. And at the end I'll also talk about a few screenshots that have just appeared on Bungie's and Destiny's official Twitter and things. So let's burst this, let's dive straight in. I don't know where I was going with that. Dive straight in with the first interesting question. Are you changing Destiny's ornament system? Deej says, we have a new weapon ornament system for the raid gear that will make it look just a little bit more badass, and we gave you just a glimpse of that in the announcement we made last Friday, where you can see that hunter having a moment of respite in the Vault of Glass. So I'll have a screenshot of that. If you don't know, in a previous weekly update that announced Age of Triumph, we saw this hunter in very cool armour, and Deej just confirmed that that armour is going to look like that through Ornaments. If you don't know, all 4 raids are getting updated armour via Ornaments, or just updated armour for the older raids, so that's very cool. Also, in case you didn't know, the old raids are all getting ghosts, and the new raids are all getting sparrows. That's very cool. That's probably my favourite thing of the whole update, actually. So yeah, raid weapons look like they might be getting ornaments as well, because it says we have a new weapon ornament system for the raid gear. So not just ornament system for the armor, that's a weapon ornament system. So is that legendaries they'll be getting weapon ornaments? We don't know. Is it Vex Mythic class? Well, that's what I'm getting onto next. The next question is, how are Destiny's weapons changing in Age of Triumph? Deej answers, there will be armor and weapons that will drop. I'm looking forward to the 3rd stream to show some of the new art for the different weapons. That Mythic class is going to be extra shiny and always badass. And the community was extremely excited to see Fatebringer again in the trailer. So are Fatebringer and Black Hammer going to be getting weapon skins? I hope so. Actually, I haven't thought about that. If Black Hammer is going to be reintroduced, are they going to be changing that weapon, because otherwise Black Spinner is pointless? We'll see. We'll actually see in the 3rd and final stream on the 22nd of March, when they'll be discussing the balance patch and how they'll be changing weapons to make sure the meta is still balanced and things. And again, I'll have a video on that, so subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for that. So that's very interesting, but the real key thing out of that was Vex Mythic class could be getting weapon skins. And now, an example of that is by Destiny Warlock. I'll have that on screen now. I used a concept from him in a previous video of mine, Dragons in Destiny 2, where I discuss how the Ahamkara, the dragons in the Destiny lore, could be implemented into Destiny 2. I use some of his weapon concepts in that, and his work's just great. He'll be linked in the description, and also check out that dragons video. That'll be linked as well. So very, very interesting. I'd be stoked to have new weapon skins. Everyone's wanted the start of Destiny 2, now they're a thing. Why wouldn't we want them on our year 1 weapons? Now, just before we move on to the last piece of news and a community highlight, we're just going to quickly talk about some of the screenshots we can see. So the first screenshot at the very top of the article I have on screen now, we can see that hunter running with the Aegis, I don't know how to pronounce it, the shield, the Vault of Glass relic, towards a Vex hobgoblin, and you can see he has a prosthetic leg, as Deej called it. You can see he's essentially got the leg of a Vex, which is very cool. That's the ornament system in place there. The ornaments are not only just going to influence how the armor looks, as in the glows and the lights, but it also looks like it's going to completely change the armor, kind of like how we saw the ornaments in SRL. Wrath of the Machine is going to have 2 ornament options, not just 1, in case you're wondering, because that already does have an ornament system. The next 2 screenshots I want to talk about before we move on. The first one is a Titan in Crota's End Raid. This just gives you a bit of insight on the armor we might be getting. And the next one is a Warlock in Crota's End Raid. Again, just insight on what we could be getting. Are those glowing effects on the Warlock armor the possible ornaments? We'll see, won't we? But the next news I want to talk about is McFarlane Toys. Now, I made a video earlier in the month, I think, well, in February probably, discussing did McFarlane Toys just leak Destiny 2's release date. I have a video on that. But McFarlane Toys, in case you didn't know, are releasing Destiny action figures and statues and Galahorn replicas and everything. I'll have a video where I talk about that in the description. But Lord Saladin's 10-inch figure, not 10-inch like that, but 10-inch in stature, has been released. Not released for sale, but the price is now visible. It's going to be $35. It's on screen now. Looks very cool. I might want to bag myself. Although it is absolutely shocking to get all these toys and things to the UK. Like the other day I tried to get Destiny Mega Blocks to the UK. It's just an absolute nightmare. So expensive. But anyway, sorry, it's just a little bit of my pet peeve. Next thing I want to talk about is a piece of art. Well, 2 pieces of art actually. Screw it. Why not? I love this community. Malok Pride of Oryx by Raybor on DeviantArt on screen now. That just looks really cool to me, and I thought he needed a shout out. Go check him out and show him some support. Even though I have a small viewer base, I think doing stuff like this is really nice, because even if one person goes and shows them some support, that will mean the world to them, I'm sure. Next one is a Warlock concept art by Bass Brands. He's a student in game design, and it's called Warlock Cyclops Gear. A piece of concept art for Destiny I've been working on in my spare time. It's a Warlock wearing Cyclops gear in the early Golden Age. Well, Bass Brands, I hope they employ you for Destiny 2 or Destiny 3, because that armor is very cool and I'd love to see that level of detail in the future of Destiny. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like down below and subscribe for more. I do a weekly update every week with this kind of content towards the end. And again, hit the bell to be notified on my future uploads. If you want a rest from all the Age of Triumph hype, the video I released yesterday, Dragons in Destiny 2, might be your cup of tea. But also I have a video coming tomorrow, which will be a channel announcement. We've got some announcements to make, some updates on what's going to be happening with the channel, because I have some exams soon, but I'm not going to go into it. That's for tomorrow's video. So subscribe and hit to be notified on that if you want to know what the hell's going on with the channel. And also, got some really cool news that I think you guys will love. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen it already, but I want to discuss it in more detail in the video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Like I said, follow me on all the socials, blah blah blah, in the description. There's some links to some cool videos I think you'll enjoy if you're new to the channel or a regular or whatever. And subscribe for more regular Destiny content. This video's gone on way too long once again. I can never not do this, but I hope you enjoyed and hope you can forgive me. Bye bye.